What's happening YouTube, and welcome back to episode 18 of my Slimming World Diaries. Now obviously for those who watched the video last week, you'll have seen that there wasn't a weight update. I didn't go to weigh-in last week. What happened was my wife went into labour on the early hours of the Thursday morning, and I weigh in on a Thursday. So unfortunately, no matter how I tried, I couldn't get to weigh in on that Thursday. Hence the video on the Friday was the what am I proud of that I filmed earlier on in the week. That's the biggest news that's happened to me in the last week. We had a little boy. Arthur Francis Ambrose Kelly was born at 8:30 on Thursday morning. Both him and mummy are doing fantastic and we're over the moon, and the kids love him. My little girl is absolutely enamoured with him, keeps saying his name, and my little boy just wants to hold him all the time. Yeah, so it's been a crazy week. Right, now we've got that out of the way, the big news, we'll move on to last night's weigh-in. So at last night's weigh-in, I'd lost £2, which was a massive surprise. I honestly expected to put on. I hadn't been for 2 weeks, obviously it was missing last week and then coming into this week for the 2 weeks. If I'm honest, I'd used Arthur being born as an excuse to pretty much eat what I wanted. We had takeaways, I ate at the hospital. I went up to the canteen twice and I didn't eat potato. Well, once I had sweet potato, but the other time I had fish and chips and mushy peas. I've been eating chocolates and sweets, and I've not been gorging, I've not been eating loads, I've not been drinking or anything like that, but I was eating a lot more than I normally would have done. So to lose £2 was great, but also a little confusing. But still, it's a loss. And with those £2, I got my 4 stones, which I am so made up with. You know, I'm now 17 stone 13. I can't remember the last time I was 17 stone anything, so I am made up. The week was a strange one, obviously, as you can imagine. I've already said that I pretty much, you know, I didn't stick to anything. When I say that, in the past, when I've ate what I wanted, it's involved having a pizza for tea or a curry or something, followed by a pudding, followed by going to the shop and getting 8 cans of beer and a packet of biscuits and some sweets, and having all that in the night, you know, maybe doing that 2 or 3 times a week. So on that sense, of what I used to be like, I haven't eaten whatever I've wanted, but I have had chocolate here, I have had, you know, I had bread, I had some toast for the first time since January. I've not eaten any kind of bread since January, and I had some toast. I haven't had a drink. The day Arthur was born, I came home night after going back to the hospital, cracked a bottle of beer, had half of it, and the other half went down the drain. I was just knackered. You know, I'd been up at that time approximately about 21 hours, you know, all the emotion, and it was, without going into detail, it was not an easy labour for the wife. She was an absolute superstar, but it was not easy, so it was emotionally tiring as well. So I just didn't finish the beer, I just didn't want it. I hadn't eaten really, but I had a bowl of cereal and I went to bed. I've been out walking loads. I'm doing 5 miles a day now, and that I think has helped. I'm continually getting out every day and doing the walk. You know, where it's been like I might miss one day in a week, I've hit every day. Apart from the day Arthur was born, I didn't go that day. So I knew I'd done okay. I wasn't expecting to lose, I was expecting to gain, but I thought it would be a small gain. You know, it's very frustrating, if frustrating is the right word. I got rid of the scales because the scales we had were useless. In one area in the room, you could weigh one, you could move it a foot and weigh another, and move it another foot and weigh completely different. Take it into another room and be a different weight altogether. So I don't know whether they were crap scales. They were Salter scales, so, you know, they're supposedly a big make, but they just weren't working. You could never tell what your weight was. So I got rid of them when I started this. So I don't know how I'm getting on during the week. I don't know if I'm having a good week or a bad week when it comes to weight. I can't jump on and have a sneaky look. So I only ever find out my weight at weigh-in on a Thursday. So I didn't know how I was doing. I knew I was working bloody hard to make up for all the crap I'd eaten, but I still expected to get a gain. So to have a £2 loss was amazing. It is now Star Wars Day, May the 4th, for anyone who gets that joke. To be honest, I'm not really a Star Wars fan. I'm just throwing it out there. I am going out for some beers tonight with 2 of my pals, James and Bill. I've not been out for ages with the guys, so we're going down to our local, going to have a few pints. Obviously I'll sin them, but you know, I think I've earned a couple of pints. So we'll have to take into consideration next week what kind of damage tonight's going to do. I am walking. I've been out twice today already. I went on one of my walks. First thing, I was out at 7:30 this morning after dropping the kids off at the grandparents, because obviously I'm on paternity leave, so I went and I did a 5-mile walk, and then got home, had a shower, walked into the town centre to have my hair cut, and walked back. Well, I'd walk around the town centre and walk back, so that was another 3.5. So I've done 8.5 miles today already. I think I've burned off, looking at the Nike app thing, I think I've burnt off close to 1,000 calories doing it. So that should hopefully counterbalance some of the beers I'm going to have tonight. I feel encouraged and I feel like I'm a bit renewed, you know, of going at it again. I've got the head on and I'm like, right, I'm, you know, meal planning and watching, you know, this is what I'm eating, this is what I'm eating, this is what I'm eating, this is what I'm eating. And I'm going to accommodate this beer here and maybe some, you know, sins there and things like that. So I'm feeling good. I want to smash this week. I am going to be joining the gym at the end of the month. That's already been established. I've already told you guys about it. I'm going to be training with Jimmy. And I think, I'll be honest, I think getting the stone a month is going to be difficult now. You know, it's all slowing down, and as it will do. And life is throwing lots of things at me. You know, I've got quite a few social events coming up where they're not social events where I can kind of, you know, sit on the sidelines and not have a drink. I mean, at the end of the month, Liverpool are playing in the Champions League final. I'm a big Liverpool fan. I get to the game whenever I can with my pal. And we're going to be going to the supporters club and watching that, and we're going to be heading out into Liverpool after it. So I know I'm going to be having a drink then. You know, we've got christening coming up. I mean, that's a big aim for me. I said in the previous video that I had to get rid of all my suits because they were just burying me. So I want a new suit for Arthur's christening. So I wanted to kind of be around my target of 16 stone around the christening, which is in July. Don't think I'm going to be that, but I'm not going to be a million miles away, and hopefully I'll have a nice suit, maybe even a fitted suit, but we'll have to see. Right guys, that's it for another week. As always, thanks very much for listening to me. Thank you so much for all the support on last week's video. What I'm proud of, that's done really well, that video. A lot of comments, a lot of likes, and quite a decent amount of views. I'm really looking forward to this week and what it brings, and getting back into it, getting my head on it straight, you know, with it seems terrible to say, like, distraction of having children, but not the distraction of it, but obviously that was the build-up, that was all consuming, that was the only thing I was thinking about. So I'm looking forward to getting my head back into the game of Slimming World, and we'll see what next week brings. As always guys, thanks very much for watching and listening, and as always, don't forget to hit that subscribe, hit that bell, hit those likes. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you all some more.